It's not cleaning the kitchen. No.
W segment, Mr. Cow.
I think it's here. The invitation was open. He's going home. He's showing you guys. He's a grown adult. He's making his own decisions. Is it not gonna work? Oh, let me guess. I need to turn off the thing. Chat? YouTube?
The grapevine as you come south, and then it starts picking up. And like I said, the first big or sort of freeway is the 126, which takes you out west through Fillmore and Santa Paula and puts you into Ventura. And as you continue down south past,
Well, I thought it was like
your way through the valley up there, it'll start loading up because there's a lot of people coming home from work.
Oh, this is Yapaton.
Going both directions, so the freeway will load
GTA
up
6
a little
teaser?
bit as he makes that approach, hitting Cal Grove and then climbing that little hill before the intersection with the 14 and then the 210. So it's going to get really tight. You can, so you don't lose the person into the terrain or into any type.
They don't make the game for PC. It's always going to be a PC port. It takes always a lot of effort to come on PC.
Now that we're off the freeway, does this will the sheriff's department get involved now?
9 times out of 10, no. At this point,
Wait, you shot 4 people?
With it because they've had it for so long. Now, if it gets deep into a city or deep into the county area, away from the freeway, then there's a chance that they will give it over to whatever agency's handling that area. But when it's running, right alongside the freeway,
so people that overanalyze,
they're going to stay. They're going to stay with it until
pre-release, like teasers or a little bit.
Continues on here.
Not great. Not me.
Road will take you over the top of the hills.
I always think a gross idea of what it's going to be, but there's not enough to make conclusions from that.
Work your way over towards Lake Elizabeth and then towards the Antelope Valley. If that's the direction, I believe that's the direction they're running. This road runs all the way through the hills for miles over to the Antelope Valley. So if they get too far out that way, there's a chance that the sheriff's department will take it over.
Is that actually true?
Normally,
you shot 4 people?
will stick with it.
Is it like some actual mass shooter? But why though?
Over the area, and they will just hand it off to their offices as they go along. So this helps with the continuity of the pursuit without having it handed off to the sheriff's department, and then 10 minutes later, it's back in their hands as it gets on.
Nobody gives a shit about water.
It's kind of a balance.
The people care about water, care about reflections, care about shadows, and those people are not gamers. They're bitch-ass hoes. Nobody cares.
Involved in this pursuit.
I couldn't give a rat's ass.
It's been handed off to Newhall at this point to take over this pursuit, and that Newhall watch commander will be making the decision.
Yeah, we're having a little problem with our signal here because of the area they're in.
Let
me ask you this. This is very isolated. We haven't seen a lot of traffic.
I gotta reset it. Hardware XL is going to tell you
to get the speeds down a little bit. They'll be able to do it in this area, no problem at all. The only issue is the sides of the road. You don't want to take them out to where they spin and go over the side and down into a ravine. But something.
Well, this is terrible.
Nice and flat on either side.
But I mean, if you shot 4 people,
flood control on either side would be great. But you have to get it down into the prescribed speed limit to be able to do it safely. Because if you do it at too high of a speed, it's not only unsafe for the
Chad, is that a Tesla?
Driver, it's unsafe for the officer.
It doesn't maybe like a Tesla. Oh no, it's not because of the back right here. It's that's not
what
he doing?
Kia. So they have very strict rules on when you can engage a pit maneuver and where you can do that. So, and they practice that all the time.
And again, you're looking live at a pursuit, which is now on Lake Hughes Road. When we picked up this pursuit, the driver was on the 5 freeway heading south. He is considered armed and dangerous. It all started. We're not exactly sure how he ended up on the 5 freeway heading south, but he managed to get there.
A pit maneuver off the table on such a narrow road, especially with the
Chris!
and the hillsides
Yes!
here. You really can't, you don't
Chris is live on here from the helicopter and ABC7 live only.
The road widens up and it's
In the air with a high FPS camera with live casting.
That was a really hairy situation there when he got off the freeway.
Helicopter.
Because there was always the risk of other motorists who were right there at that intersection.
Sky Map
and they did a
7
great job,
live air.
really holding back. He almost had an opportunity there to execute the pit, but he did the right thing and just let that suspect accelerate right under the freeway. Again, the important thing for everybody to remember, including all of the officers like they're trained, is that they have time on their side, especially in an environment like this. There is very little risk to the public. There's no other motorists around.
Well said.
There is really very little, room for this guy to escape anywhere. It's unlikely he's going to even get away at the end of this pursuit. He does not appear to be in great physical shape.
If he is disregarded,
so with all of that taken into account, they can just let this go at a nice casual clip all the way up Lake Hughes Road until he forces their hand some other way. And the hope
they might terminate it when they have a chance.
Runs out of gas or just decides to pull over. But what I can tell you is that we have information from our assignment desk that the CHP airplane,
well, I mean, he doesn't have to.
fixed-wing airplane,
he knows that.
did indeed track this suspect all the way from Pomona, presumably along the 210 freeway, into the valleys, up Santa Clarita, and eventually up the Grapevine, where CHP ground units picked it up right near Magic Mountain in that area, and eventually led him all the way down here to Lake Hughes Road. So they have had good eyes on this suspect from the very beginning.
I don't know where he's going,
something that took place, a violent
what if he takes a jump,
in the city of Pomona that they were investigating, Pomona PD initiating the pursuit, and California Highway Patrol's fixed-wing airplane tracking this suspect all the way up here. So it's not a case of, is this the right suspect? Of course they have to wonder that.
Saying, a suspect of a crime that big,
they have had good eyes on the suspect vehicle, and that they have a good positive ID. Most likely, this is going to be their guy. It's just a matter of taking him into custody as safely as possible without putting anybody in danger. And again, this is the best part about this pursuit, is we could talk about it for hours on end until he runs out of gas.
This is not muted, is it?
Here, there is very little harm that could be done. The risk level in this pursuit has dropped dramatically. Even on the, I said earlier, you wouldn't want to see it anywhere else, but an empty freeway. But you know what? If you had to pick a place, I would say this is as good a place as any to see this pursuit come to an end.
Yeah, and safe to assume that whatever happened in Pomona, if it is related to this driver, was a serious crime, because they do not seem to be letting up. And as you mentioned, they are letting time go by. They're not in a rush.
Like, what is brother
continuing to follow this suspect. And we've already heard that he is armed and dangerous. And
there's nothing here.
There was some sort of criminal activity, police activity in Pomona. Not sure if it is related, but this pursuit did start in Pomona, so we can perhaps start piecing together some of the pieces of the puzzle.
Your description, Chris, does remind us of all the tools that law enforcement has that we don't even think about. They've been on this guy for quite some time. I'm pretty sure on who he might be. And it also begs the question, when he veered off the freeway and perhaps saw those spike strips and had to take that exit, it wasn't because he wanted to take that exit. He may not know where he is right now. Clearly, this is not a heavily traveled road at all. Not a lot of people have been on this road, and he may just be wondering where am I?
Right. And, a lot of other pursuit drivers in his position, whether they were speeding or whether they are under the influence or whatever the case would normally, would often be, I should say, might not have had the chance to make that game time decision and get off the freeway. But again, at the speeds he's doing, he is driving so composed that he had every opportunity to methodically exit the freeway at a safe speed, even was able to negotiate his way out of that pit maneuver and then onto Lake Hughes Road here. Again, I can tell you this, in all likelihood, don't know this for sure, but if I was a betting man, once in a while, I would bet a lot of money this was not in his plan. Lake Hughes Road was
Joe, why the couple's not going forward?
Playbook when he started his
an unprecedented event. We've never seen it before.
He is now on most likely
they're waiting for them to come around
territory
because it's Ewing.
Just going to take this as long as he can. And up here, there's lots of road to play with. I mean, I'm looking at canyons up here.
Because the road is Ewing.
Postcard pretty today. I mean, it's a beautiful
evening no, he's locked
to take
in.
a drive up Lake Hughes Road. But for this guy, he's got a lot more in store.
Yeah, so far, no place to run and hide, that's for sure. There's no parking garages to duck into, no streets to run down or alleys to hit. He's got wide open space, and there's no way to run and hide.
And, nope, not at all. I mean,
go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
Nah, I don't have a parlay on this, unfortunately.
No, it's like I was just going to reiterate, patience is the name of the game. Patience on the part of those law enforcement officers is everything right now.
So I'm thinking about an idea that could end the pursuit like this.
This is idyllic situation. There is
idyllic?
Geography
is that true,
that you don't want to be. If he does run or if he off-roads, God forbid he starts to off-road unexpectedly, or gets agitated.
A drone
that
goes on top of the car,
hits a guardrail
drops
or something like that.
Small,
there are some safety
hot coal on the engine.
They're going to take. They're not going to take these hairpin turns
and
too quickly.
It melts into the engine block and breaks the engine.
They don't have to. He's not going that fast. He really is providing them he's well aware they're no more than 6 or 7 car lengths behind him. They're not losing a visual of him. They've got clear eyes on the ground. No? They've got clear eyes up above. The entire everybody's watching this guy. This guy has all the eyes that he never anticipated this guy's. And now he's in a situation where he's in a real pickle with very few options. Here come these hairpin turns. I'm talking about
they're going for pick here?
Straddling the double
maybe
yellow
they know that it's safe?
Normally would be unsafe, but really, look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about. If he gets spooked or takes his eyes off the road, there are, really unsafe opportunities. He's all over the road now. All of a sudden, he is all over the paint, unnecessarily crossing over the double yellow lines and just crossed over that white line. He was on the right shoulder there with no guardrail as he made that turn, and now he's really driving a little bit more erratically through these really tight turns.
You get a lot more traction when you're on uphill, so
he needs to slow down and stay in his lane here, and eventually this is going to come to a peaceful end. But if he starts driving any more dangerously than he has been, this could go.
He's not using all the track space though. Wait, they're getting really close though.
Steep hills here.
No way did they pit this guy off the mountain, right?
Then that could cause him to do something really stupid.
Yeah, and Lake Hughes Road, I just looked up, is a 24-mile canyon road, so they could be on this road for a very,
24 miles?
Time. What are his speeds right now? We did see him speed up just a moment ago, but generally speaking, he's been driving fairly slowly.
Yeah, up here he can't really go too fast. I mean, there really are a lot of twists and turns through these mountains. This is no longer hills.
And 30 minutes.
We graduated to bona fide mountains about 4 or 5 minutes ago. And
no,
now,
they can easily get ahead of him. There's other counties that are further up.
He's doing about 40 miles per hour.
I don't think they would.
40 to 50. If he slowed down a little more, he would be in pit maneuver territory, but I don't think we're going to see that
Look at that ravine, though.
soon, considering the narrow nature of Lake Hughes Road through here. It's just too narrow and obviously too dangerous when you look at the geography over here.
Yeah.
So I think temporarily that's been taken off the table. Again, there are other
Georgia
agencies,
State
including
Patrol
LAPD,
would have literally ran them from the back at the peak apex on the biggest hill they could have found, and would have sent them straight to heaven.
But policy does allow CHP to pit an armed and dangerous suspect, even if he is armed. So he is dangerous. He is driving safely, but when this comes to an end, they have a very unpredictable human behind the wheel that they are going to have to contend with, and that's why they have the tools at their disposal.
It's probably to make a roadblock. Not commonly, but I've never seen this scenario before.
The fact that other people could be coming the other way as well, so it's dangerous not only for the officers and the suspect, but whoever else might be coming. Continue to follow this pursuit. as it continues on. We will go to David Muir, World News, right after this in about a minute or a few seconds. We'll move over to our digital channels to continue to cover this.
Yeah, this will continue, but not the TV.
A rather dangerous pursuit. Keep in mind, this is believed to be an armed suspect.
This broadcast is the live broadcast on the internet, and it stays patched through
or up Lake Hughes Road.
Internet broadcast. They're just patching it through.
Yeah, but for now, we thank you for watching Eyewitness News at 6, and we will go to World News tonight.
We're not going to see the patch. You'll see
this pursuit on our streaming channel.
And then, bang, see, they patch it through, and we don't see it. See?
All right, welcome to our streaming channel as we continue to follow this pursuit down Lake Hughes Road and a windy road at that. And Chris, the terrain is changing a little bit.
Yeah, the terrain is changing. There are actually people that live in this little area here. I don't even know if it's got a name, but there are some. There is a small little community up here, but as far as I can tell, I'm just trying to look out for anybody coming in the opposite direction. Obviously,
Yo, these houses, what the fuck?
Covered, but it does make you nervous. This looks like GTA. For a while, I had really good visibility.
Like those barn houses in the hills.
And for the longest time, he had nobody. I mean, this is the only thing happening on Lake Hughes Road right now. There was no traffic to speak of. I wanted to mention also LA County Sheriff has now brought in their airship, so they are now tracking this from the air as well. Again, it goes to show you lots of resources in play at the ready here as this pursuit continues along Lake Hughes Road, coming up on Warm Springs Fish Canyon. And again, as far as I could tell, again, you know, he was in a little bit of a woodsy area that made me a little nervous, but now I've got better visibility into the road.
See, chat, look,
and there's nobody.
Chat always says, "What do you mean a police plane?" Yeah, see, when things are serious enough, they bring the police plane. This is a police plane.
CHP has his rear covered, and coming up ahead here, as far as I can tell, and I say it with some hesitation in my voice because a lot of times you might see a motorcyclist or two speeding down.
Yes, it's a police plane.
This is again, this is joyride territory. You want to go for a Sunday drive? You want to take the bike out? This is prime real estate, and that is why it makes me a little bit nervous when he started picking up a little bit of speed through some of these hairpin turns, especially with the cliffs. I mean, he's really driving on the edge.
This comes out of the taxpayer money.
White line onto the shoulder.
All maintenance, fuel, and repairs used on those flights should go directly billed to the family and the criminal. Everybody in their bloodline should get the bill. I mean, why do we pay for this shit? We don't. We don't pay for this shit.
Are going to smooth out, and he's going to have a straightaway for the next
they should foot the bill.
miles, or at least a relative straightaway compared to those twists and turns we were watching there for a little bit as he makes his way further up into the mountains. He is going up.
If they continuously allow crime to happen deliberately and not pursue convictions against criminals, then we shouldn't pay for all the measures that go into getting them.
But can you recap for us what we know?
That's enough.
Yeah, so that's important. So he eventually was caught up by CHP after Pomona PD tried to pull him over. Pomona PD was working a violent crime in their city limits, and this is their suspect. Now, they weren't able to keep up with him, but the CHP airplane was able to track
drone spider
from Pomona in the San Gabriel Valley all the way out into the San Fernando
Valley.
Drone
comes in, drops a spider on the hood.
Black and Whites were able to catch up with him on the ground and pick up this pursuit on the ground.
Pierces a hole, then dumps foam inside the engine, and it engulfs, and it
up the grapevine. All the way almost
suffocates the engine.
To Fraser Park, where he turned around unexpectedly, made an unexpected U-turn, and came back down the southbound side of the 5 freeway. There were several spike strips attempted this afternoon. He was able to get around one of them. And then when we thought he was going to continue into Santa Clarita, he actually saw another spike strip ahead, and that's where we've got videotape of him getting off the freeway, at a very safe speed. He was able to negotiate that, get off the freeway.
I think this is one of my better ideas,
under the 5 freeway, and that's what put him on Lake Hughes Road, where he is in very barren territory, CHP, with no traffic to contend with here. He has had very little traffic this entire pursuit for the most part. It's basically been him in the road.
Is that earlier? Earlier.
And that's it. And these CHP officers the entire time. They don't have a lot of other vehicles in their way here. So we don't know how much fuel is in this Kia sedan, but he's got to be running low eventually.
So why not just a drone
one way or
that
the other.
spikes it?
I wonder if there's another way up there. Like, let's say, for instance, if they can get a CHP officer ahead of them with a spike strip and these blind turns, that could be a tactic, but I just don't know if there's a way to get there.
I don't think so. I think you said it. This is only a 24-mile road, and there's nothing that can connect to it until he gets to Lake Hughes. Lake Hughes Road ends at Lake Hughes, right near Elizabeth Lake, where he's going to have to turn onto either left or right onto Elizabeth Lake Road. These are really rural areas, and there really is not much access to Lake Hughes Road.
Even when he turns, where is he going to go?
To Lake Hughes Road for at least the next, I'm going to say roughly, I think another...
A retreat center.
8 or 10 miles, maybe even a little less.
Like,
but,
what the fuck?
For the first time,
Volcano!
we're seeing that passenger side window roll down, and again, he's rifling through something with his right hand, and that is distracting him. Look at him. He's all over the paint again, messing with something. And he just threw something out. He just threw something out the passenger window and almost drove off the road. He's picking up speed and threw something out the window very unexpectedly.
Should I do it back
here on Lake Hughes Road, doing about 45 to 50 miles per hour,
it's live.
Almost
It's
swerved
above
off the road.
broadcast.
You saw that. He rolled down the passenger side window for the first time in this pursuit. Something came flying out. He threw something out the window. Not sure what it was. I could not make it out, but if you guys can re-rack that video, you're going to have a better shot, a better monitor than I have that might be able to identify. If you could slow it down in slow motion, you might be able to see what it was. Didn't look like a weapon, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah, we'll try to get a closer look. I wonder if this is an indication that he's thinking there's no way out of this. Oh, some more.
He's throwing more stuff. Yeah. He's throwing more evidence out the window. He just threw something else out the window.
What kind of luck is that, man?
They see what he's doing. At least 1 or 2 of those CHP officers will stop and grab whatever he's throwing. But he is clearly now very desperate to get rid of the evidence. There is evidence in that passenger seat. There's a bag. He's rifling through it. We've seen him on the phone for most of this afternoon during this pursuit, and now he has made the decision that he's on borrowed time, and he thinks that by throwing whatever it is out the window, it's going to save him something. It's not going to save him anything. No. But he is very agitated now. He is very distracted, more importantly. And if he continues this behavior, still throwing stuff out the window, that is the 3rd object we've seen thrown out the window. These are not small objects, by the way. He is throwing
is that the whole bag?
Something of substance out the window. This is not paper. He's throwing something out the window. This is the 3rd time
I couldn't see that.
We've seen objects fly out that window, and every time he almost drives off the road or he drives over the median here. We're trying to keep eyes on him.
We almost saw him.
We are on borrowed time ourselves because of our fuel situation. So we're going to try and take this and keep eyes on him as long as we can. Here comes somebody in the opposite direction, not law enforcement. Here comes an innocent motorist coming the other way. Oh no, that's him. I'm sorry. I thought we were looking ahead. We're looking behind us. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. I thought we turned. I was looking out the window here. In any event, that is him now coming towards us. We now have a really great view of him coming at us, and if we push in, depending on the lighting here, we might be able to see what else is going on inside the car. But we did see.
We can't see. We need a drone.
3 substantial objects thrown out that window.
Yeah, and I wonder if CHP, as you mentioned, saw that, and one of those units will stop and try to retrieve it, although probably hard to do. But I wonder if that's they'd like. You know.
I'm sure they do, though, Chris.
Yeah, almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. We'll go when we have a chance. We will count
Chat,
units.
the roads have the little fences, the white fence,
one or two
just
of
like
them pulled off to
in GTA.
collect the evidence. And that's very much what it is. They will be desperate
Oh,
to
what was
collect
that?
evidence, and it should be
Was
very
it a
easy
deer?
to find. They have all
Mountain
of the
lion? Coyote?
pinpoint locations of where those objects were
Go-kart!
thrown, and they didn't get very far. He just basically tossed them out the window, and I think that
Chris,
will be used against him in a court of law.
So why would you put a go-kart track
take a closer
right next to a
look.
cliff?
Carolina,
There's
He's
literally
still
a
throwing stuff out the window.
He's still throwing stuff out, okay.
Continuing to throw things
Oh,
out.
oh!
He's still throwing stuff out the window. He's not done. He's back over the double yellow lines, continuing to throw things out the window. He's rifling through this bag. I'm sorry, David.
It's
I am
okay.
looking. I do see we've got that video from earlier. And
There's a
the
close-up.
director
What is
has
that?
the opportunity.
It's
There
bait.
is slow motion.
It's bait.
And I wasn't able to see it.
I couldn't either.
Maybe you guys were.
It looks like it's something rectangular and flat.
Yes.
It's bait. It's bait.
But hard to make
Hard to make
what
out.
it is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too
Hard.
blurry.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's thrown things
tough.
out, as you mentioned, several times.
Could be
so
drugs, could
by
be
my
anything.
count, he's thrown 4 objects, 4
But I think it's
distinct
bait.
objects out the window, and now he's got both hands
Oh,
off the wheel.
oh,
Yeah, he's still
Both hands
rifling
off
through
the wheel,
something.
continuing to rifle through this bag. This is not going to end well if his driving changes. You know, you had a little bit of confidence in this guy because he was driving so safely for so long, and now he appears desperate to get rid of whatever
Wait, is there a problem
evidence
with the
is
wheel?
in that bag, and that is affecting his driving. He is severely
Is that a prison?
distracted
What is
now,
this?
And for the first time, moments ago, took both hands off the wheel. This is a
Is that the retreat
dicey
center?
situation for everybody all of a sudden if he continues with that kind of behavior. But again, they see what he's up to, and they will find those objects. There is very little doubt in my
It's
mind
the,
that they will not collect whatever he's throwing out.
I can't.
So I
see.
wonder what lies ahead for him, Chris. You said it ends at Lake Hughes.
Rescue mission.
Is there a lot of
Union.
room for him to maneuver, or is he basically going to find himself in a place where he
No,
can't go
it's
anywhere?
I'm sorry, David. Looking up ahead here, it looks like he's got a few twists and turns, but for the most part, really nothing in his way. There's another car going in the same direction. He's not a factor. And yeah, no, as far as I could tell, for the next mile or two,
Oh.
we are learning.
Oh.
We are just hearing that the driver may have a dog
No!
in the car with him. Chris, I don't know if you've seen any evidence of that, but we certainly haven't.
I wonder if
Guys, are you able to?
Yeah, we're having some
I know
signals. A little bit of signal issue, Chris. We have your shot. We can't always hear you, but what we said was we're getting information that he might have a dog on board.
Might have a dog on board. There are reports that law enforcement is in communication with a relative of the driver, and that relative is informing them that there might
47
be a
months,
dog
wow.
inside the car. I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah,
certainly
chat.
the dog could be in the back seat, but up until now, we have not seen any evidence of an animal inside this car. Obviously,
No,
it's really
they could
difficult
easily
to see.
fake that
that
they're
animal
a
could
relative
be
and it's just a
sitting
friend.
contently
Get
in the
the
back
dog
seat.
out and ran
I don't
him
want
off
to
the
prejudge,
cliff.
but
Just
so
so
far,
that
we have
they're
not
nice
seen
or
any
whatever.
indication
They shouldn't
that
fully
there's a
trust
dog
civilians'
inside the car,
reports.
but
I
that
mean,
is information that they now have. It may very well be a dog inside in the rear of the vehicle. It's certainly possible, and it sounds like they are at least talking to a relative. That may allow them to get a relative on the phone
is it a
and
cookie
start to talk this
of
guy
maple?
off the ledge, so to speak. If they can get a crisis negotiator on the line, they may be able to actually negotiate with this driver mid-pursuit. It's certainly a possibility. We've seen it plenty of times in the past, but now that they have a hotline with a relative, that's a good indication. That's a good sign, if nothing else.
Yeah, some communication is taking place somewhere, so that is a good sign. Somebody's trying to make a difference. Hopefully he didn't throw his cell phone out with all that other stuff, and he still has that. I'm sure he does, but you never know.
It didn't seem like it was a cell
No.
phone. Yeah, it just didn't seem. It didn't have the heft.
The first thing that we
It
showed
looked like,
was like it seemed flat and rectangular. I thought, could that be a cell phone? But
it looked like
I don't know.
underwear wrapper.
It's probably not.
I'm not sure. If
No,
he does
little
have
box, you buy
a dog in the car, it may explain the weaving, but not sure.
No.
We haven't really seen.
Okay, let's watch the video
You
again.
XXXXX
Take a good close look,
thank
and
me
then we
for
do.
all the months
It's
so
real time right
else
there, and then
That
we
was
will.
something he threw out.
Yeah,
just
that
now.
was. I think that was the first thing that he threw out. This is on the right-hand side. This is the video from earlier, And then I do believe that we have it in slow-mo as well. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Hard to say.
Bait, it's bait. It's bait.
Flat, rectangular,
Sure
maybe.
is. But likely some
Maybe
piece of
a
evidence
bottle
that he doesn't want to be caught with.
It seems like he's slowing down, Chris.
Oh!
Suspect slowing down. He is slowing down.
Oh,
I'm losing you a little bit, guys, but he is slowing down. He's coming to a stop.
We understand
Suspect
there's a
No,
spike stick
he's
coming to a
probably
stop
fidgeting.
He's on Lake Hughes Road.
Maybe looking at
Devere Court. And there is a spike strip.
He went around it.
Or at least yeah, he went around it.
What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what the fuck is he doing?
So he's
Like,
still on Lake Hughes Road. And look at that. People up here already familiar with what's coming down the pike here. And look at that. More CHP units.
They're all
More
over.
CHP units ready
They
to
did
take this
come up.
pursuit over. Here comes the handoff. They have just handed this off to the Antelope Valley. Antelope Valley office now
oh man,
taking
I don't know
over
if
the
we can
pursuit.
trust these guys. We'll
Brand
see, I
new
guess.
Units, brand new eyes and vehicles behind the suspect.
And what the
that was well coordinated and well planned out, and that handoff has now been successfully
Why would they
completed.
pre-set up and
This
pre-angle
is what you
themselves
get
if
when
they're
you
gonna
mess with
swap
CHP.
leading
They can
units?
take this pursuit all the way up the state of California if he decided to go that far, right? They have unlimited resources, and for an armed and dangerous suspect at this point in the evening, they will exhaust all of them until this comes to an end. And so that handoff has
Ew, what is that
taken
water?
over. He may
Is
be
that
running
swamp?
out of gas, but those new primary units.
So these guys, they need to drive an hour and a half to go to
Yeah, they're ready
fucking
to go.
to
And, I guess
to the
it
store.
increases the danger a bit. As you can see, there are a lot of buildings and homes in this community, so there could be some obstacles or cars coming the other way. Finally, so it's not as wide open, at least in that
So they're
little
out-
spot,
they're
Chris,
out
as
of
we saw
nowhere.
earlier.
Yeah, I mean,
They
I'm
need
looking up
drones.
ahead here. There's, again, one or two vehicles traveling on his side of the road, but there really is no traffic
Yeah,
to speak
baby.
of. Unfortunately, the only problem is that it's just
Home
a
delivery.
narrow road, so that limits their options. You have two lanes, one lane in either direction, nobody coming, but it's just not enough room for a safe pit maneuver. That's the problem. If they see one,
That looks
if they see
nice.
an opportunity,
Dude,
they might
what a
take
nice
it there.
driveway, though.
It does widen up a little bit. There's an intersection coming up. They could actually.
This is a
if he's
big
going slow
property.
enough, go ahead and let's clock him one more time, Josh. What's he doing now? About 45? Yeah, I'm going to say about 45, 55 miles. Yeah, he's doing right around 45 miles per hour. So at 45 miles per hour, the road is widening up a little bit up ahead here. They may try it out. But again, this is a new primary unit.
Hello, Felix.
There
That's
is
right,
a
right.
new
Unfortunately,
boss
we
in town.
cannot
Whoa,
making
that house is
calls
huge.
on this
Would ruin
pursuit.
the nice
And
mountain
so they may want to
landscape.
feel
It's
it
a
out a little
big-ass
bit
compound.
before they reauthorize that pit maneuver that may have already taken
And look, you
place.
can do some
I can't tell you
ATV
for
in
sure.
the off-road.
But
Look at
something
that.
tells me, as I said earlier, patience is really.
Or maybe some horse riding.
It's a virtue in these situations because there's just no reason to rush it. And already we saw what he was capable of once when
Look,
they
man.
came up behind him as he got off of the 5 freeway and they tried to execute that pit. The first thing he
This
did
is a 3-star
was step on
chase.
the gas pedal
There's no
and
4-star
try to
chases.
negotiate
It's
his way
just
out of
not
it.
really a
So
thing.
he's onto their tactics.
Very rare.
And so it's going to play into their decision making whether they if and when they try that pit maneuver again. But again, these are brand new units in the pursuit. Lots of time on
You
their
need
side.
heavy
Yeah, the
vehicles
roads
or
don't- they don't have a
armored
dividing line
or
either. It's kind of a-
special units
all just
vehicles
one
for it to be 4
dark-
stars. It has to be
There's traffic coming from
big
the other
ass
side.
reinforced vans, a
Yeah,
Bearcat,
one oncoming car there.
tank.
I'm
Tank
looking
is
out
fine,
for more
but
guys.
I mean,
There's another one.
it's
One more
happened
car
before.
coming.
Tank.
And then after this next car, which is right there pulling over, here's the sirens. That's the right thing to do. And now he's got a straightaway up ahead here with nobody on the
Tank,
road.
yeah, it's happened before. A tank.
It's a wide open road. This is Elizabeth Lake Road, by the way. He did make the right onto Elizabeth Lake when this new pursuit package took over. We have a primary, secondary, and a backup unit, all brand new.
Yeah, they
units
killed
that
those
took
other
over
guy,
this
but we don't talk
pursuit
about that.
Right as he approached
We
the
don't
end
mention
of
that
Lake
incident.
Hughes onto Elizabeth Lake, and he is now traveling along Elizabeth Lake Road at about 45, 50 miles per hour. Again, this is an armed and dangerous suspect who is capable of damage, and so they are treating him with care as they
Oh
try
man,
and bring
wait.
this to a peaceful resolution.
This guy is fucking swerving in the rocks.
Enough to try and throw evidence out the window of the moving vehicle, and in the process, almost lost control.
Oh, look at the little house.
So that speaks, I think, a lot to his mental state, David and Giovanna. You get a picture into his mind when you start to see that kind of behavior.
Oh, what is that?
He is a
Tumbleweed!
individual.
Was that fucking tumbleweed?
Knows that his time
I've never seen a live tumbleweed.
And hopefully he thinks carefully about
a
it.
Bird.
Because,
that's fucking boring.
You know, it's going to come to an end here one way or the other. We can just hope that it comes to a peaceful resolution.
But there's no indication on his part that he's ready to give up. This has been going now for...
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
No, other than the fact that only he has eyes on
You know what's crazy?
Page, right?
I bet that residents here probably fucking ride like their little scooter or Vespa with no helmet on, like fucking cruising, sometimes just to chill, because there's so little people there.
He may think he can, you know, find an escape route or try and navigate his way out of this. He may think he can outrun the law, but it really is
I'm
just
saying
not
that makes it kind of risky.
as we can see from our perch. Right, so we know that he's on borrowed time.
Tumbleweeds are sick.
I would say
Tumbleweeds not sick. They're invasive species.
Just a matter, again,
they group up and stack and cause massive damage to ecosystem and
the vehicle, the amount of
cities.
gas in that tank. That will dictate, I think.
Yes, they are. Tumbleweeds are
Yeah,
extremely invasive.
Not know what to do and just keep driving until he can't drive any longer, and then that's the big question:
How do you not,
if he is in fact
you can say large, but you just don't know. I know
what happens next.
There's massive incidents of tumbleweed overtaking entire
Chris,
fucking
you're going to take over our coverage. Thank you so much. You're doing a great job. Giovanna and myself are signing off. Thank you for your great coverage.
Tumbleweed takeover.
Hopefully this does end well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We really hope that he starts to think twice here. It would make everybody's evening a lot
Look at this shit.
But unfortunately,
he is
really...
I mean, look at that.
Just up against here. This is a guy who is desperate to get away, and we counted earlier in this pursuit there was a full package of 6 vehicles on Lake Hughes Road. If you're just joining us, you're watching a pursuit that's been going on for over an hour at this point. And on Lake Hughes Road, before he got onto Elizabeth Lake, he was throwing objects out the vehicle. Some of those units stopped to pick up the objects. A new pursuit package has taken over this pursuit, and there are now about 7 black and whites in pursuit of this black.
Windows are back up. He's locked in.
We do not know the exact nature of the crime, except for the fact that it was.
You said it was a multi-shooter.
And this suspect is armed and dangerous. He is wanted by Pomona PD, California Highway Patrol, exhausting lots of resources to bring this pursuit to a safe conclusion. But he has taken us from Pomona through the San Gabriel Valley, all the way through the city of LA, into the San Fernando Valley, into Santa Clarita Valley, all the way up the Grapevine, up the 5 freeway, made a random U-turn, came back down the 5 freeway, and before he got to Castaic, made
one of the
a left
problems
turn
with
on Lake.
When the call track.
Likely he's going to go until the car runs out of gas. He's not going to run
Yo,
out of
Fox News, guys, listen.
I know of.
You guys need to bring in the police guy when there's questions and relevance for the matter at hand, and leave him on standby and get a live time cast like Chris Christie. Like, yo, you guys got access to Stu. Get Stu on the motherfucker. He loves this shit. Get Stu on the air. Why is Stu not casting this motherfucker right now? He didn't quit. He loves his job. He was glazing all of his staff today. He was saying, oh my God, I love the fucking announcer desk. I love the guys that work out there. I love the people that do the production. Love you guys. Like, he was glazing hard. He loves his job. His personal life is a whole different story, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he likes it. I respect that, man. Committed to his job. He's passionate about his job.
Hey, the answer is yes.
And
oh my God, so loud. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I don't care. I don't care about my
X.
So loud.
Did you ever play Webkins? I just beat my record on Bullseye Better.
I am legally married. I am legally married. That's about the only way you can really say it. I am legally married. But I am not looking at now at all. I just had a bunch of debacles with my personal life.
I only know Steve.
It's true. I know. It's
the guy who absolutely demolished you in Splatoon yesterday. Keep painting Spawn, buddy.
And but yeah, I got nothing right now. Got nothing. Not really looking. Trying to find myself and be happy. I'm being serious about that. I want to be beholden to no one at this moment. Do I get lonely? Of course. But I got cats. So.
Okay, chat.
5 years in the jungle family.
Since we have no audio on this,
the memories.
I just decided to put in a classic, funny clip.
Like well, slowing down here and making a turn.
I put a classic helicopter clip over the
west. Again, still an isolated area. We're going to stick with this as long as we can. Unfortunately, it looks like Sky Fox may run out of fuel before this guy does. But we'll see how it all plays out for us, Tim.
Who's still got fuel? BBC?
Avenue K runs toward east-west type roadway, and it'll run over towards the 14 freeway down. As the numbers drop down,
who's got fuel? Who's got fuel?
To the freeway on K, and K is just as
solar panels
over the hill into the valley. It starts out, I believe, at S and then works its way down all the way to A as you leave the county of Los Angeles into Kearns. So kind of have an idea how the roadways work out there. But K is about a third of the way.
If solar panels are infinite energy, why don't they just put them
through due east towards the 14 freeway now? But he's got a long ways to go because it's down.
I mean, if it's energy forever,
like Avenue K and 10,
put a bunch of them, and then DG.
When you start getting really close to that 14 freeway, so it's going to come in, not too.
Even if it's not efficient, it's still pure.
And then pretty much have a lot of.
It's not corroding. It's not breaking, is it?
That's where they're going to have to start being careful of pedestrians and cross traffic, but not like out here. This would be a great place to do a pit, but the speeds are way too high for that. But
why would they degrade?
A spike strip to cross all that with that wide shoulder. I don't believe they'd have enough spike strips.
Why don't they just put a rod of metal all the way down to the core of the Earth and just do geothermal for global?
You got to continue not doing that.
Yeah, so we're told this particular road will actually head toward Quartz Hill. But as you mentioned, if he gets on the 14, we picked this up. He was on the 5
silver-colored wig.
South.
Midlife crisis.
Headed toward
sponsored
the metro
skater,
area in here in Los Angeles,
jog out of breath,
Valley.
Drink water out of faucet,
14,
grow up.
That's going to hook him up with a 5. And he
xQcL.
could end up there anyway, like he was maybe originally planned. But if that's
the
case,
pressure,
it's a detour to get there.
Retard.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, unless his driving app is telling
I always said nuclear is good because it's safe if you do it right. But I have, in recent times, after really learning about all the incidents that happened with nuclear, my conclusion is this. I still think that, but 10% less, 90%, because humans aren't safe. You can have the safest technology, but it's irrelevant if you don't have safe humans. And dog shit humans are absolutely everywhere. And when it comes down to doing the right thing, they don't. They don't.
And then you'll start seeing houses, and it'll get more populated.
Let me guess, they should use drones.
So, the deputies and the CHP officers who are behind this will have to adjust as it goes along. And just like I said, you're reacting to what the driver does.
I mean, look at Japan.
You're always waiting for the worst.
Japan, with the incident, they had the choice to flood the reactor with salt water, which would have solved the problem, but would have corroded their technology irreparably. And they decided not to do it, and it fucked everybody over.
It goes really, really fast at the end. You've been driving this long. You're kind of calm down. You're just kind of cruising along and not really on high alert when you really should be. And that's what you have to really remember is this thing can come to an end in an instant. You can
this is a crazy take.
Jam on the brakes and game on.
But if even Japan did it wrong,
react to that. So
I can't think
going through a four-way stop
of who would do it right.
Now. So
I think they usually do pretty good.
Matter of time to see where he ends up. But you see the Avenue K, the number is dropping down. We're at 70th now, and that will continue to reduce the numbers the closer we get to the 14 freeway.
So I know you've seen this plenty of times, from the air, but this is basically that area between Victorville and Lancaster, correct? Which is just a lot of roads that have
different ways preventing runaway events,
and pretty much they all run straight, right? East to west?
Oh, they're pretty much straight.
Look up how many people die to air pollution. Nuclear is still better.
Valley, you look towards where the sun sets, and those hills go up.
Okay.
You just come out of those hills.
Air pollution is a secondary problem to other elements that people are okay with, unfortunately. But when it comes to a nuclear event happening that's bad, it's a one instance that you can definitely pinpoint. Bang! We should avoid this. That's completely different. It is completely. You cannot compare those two types of deaths or loss of life. It's not in the same category. It's in a completely different angle.
Victorville. I mean, Victorville's on the far east end of the valley, and hopefully we don't end up there because it'll be dark by the time he gets there. And, that's going to be way too long for these officers. But the thing is, that's the reason why they hand it off from office to office is to keep a fresh
because
officer.
When it comes down to the status quo of things, we could always go more. What about all the pans with the lead? What about people that what about the smog? What about the whoa! Oh shit!
Fresh one there, so up the off side of the road there.
Yeah, that. You think that may be fatigue on his part?
Could be, or he could have been reached down to pick something up, or got distracted a little bit in the car and drove off the road. He could very well be on.
What about health insurance? What about
people in his circle?
What about
what to do?
Insurance as a whole? What about access to medication and access to well-priced?
Some people just stop. They
medication.
You have to be aware of that.
This is not called whataboutism.
Other drivers on the road.
If you do a whataboutism, I'm showing you how there isn't some higher priority shit that's causing even more deaths, and you don't even blink an eye about it.
You have a bunch of police cars coming at you.
Because it's a
just stop here.
Oh! Did he hit that?
Right there, yeah. Unless there was a spike strip.
It's a perpetual problem that is constant and not dealt with compared to a one single big event that can be prevented that causes a massive loss of life.
Towards the police car, then went on around. So that could have been an avoidance maneuver. And hopefully the officer was able, because what you do is you put
Jake, I actually often talk about that, about how good China is doing it. I actually, I try to keep myself well educated about the onlookers of China and how better they do with pollution, emission, human rights, work, all that.
Check to see the playback.
I do.
Possibly did hit the spike strip. That left rear.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like there might be damage there.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty low on that side. So we'll see if you start seeing the car kind of swerve a little bit and just little tiny fishtails. That's a good indication that the rubber is going away, and then you'll start seeing pieces of rubber.
Because it's some sectors that they've been heavily criticized for over the last decades. That they've made significant improvements on it, that people still give them flack.
Well, it looks like it's front.
And they're not even talking about the rate of improvements.
Looks like it may have blown.
Yeah, good spike in.
His tire's going to fly off. GG's.
It doesn't blow the tires. What it does.
Chat, how do we mute the bottom left bus to and listen to the other guy? PLS help me.
Needle, and is embedded in rubber, and when you run over it, you smash the rubber down.
What Jake said?
Needle comes out, goes into the tire, and then stays in the tire and slowly lets the air out. So you don't want it to, blow out and the person go out of control. So it slowly lets out the air. The car goes down to the tire goes down to the rim, and the rim is running on the actual rubber, and that continued drive.
Chad, believe it or not,
heat, and just basically cuts the tread away.
The tire flying off is actually good.
Rubber come rolling off there because it's just basically.
Because right now it's boom, 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 right? But once it flies off, he can drive on the rim. He can absolutely drive on the rim. The rim is not that bad. Contrary to popular belief, the rim is not that bad. They can control, drive, turn properly. Even with shit cars. But you got to get rid of that rubber. So sometimes they kind of swerve and it goes boom. See ya.
Dust come off the tire, the drive tires, more than likely the front tires in this car, and that's when you know that you've run rubber
Rockstar playthroughs. Yeah, we can do that. So we can do a marathon soon.
And that gets very hard to accelerate and also to be able to steer the car. So luckily, that also puts your speeds down in the 20s, as we're seeing. And
look, it's still on.
New sub badges.
And even at this speed, they could go up and push it around into a pit maneuver.
Jake said, "Come to Guangdong."
Newer cars will shut off if they go backwards while the car is in drive. So hopefully that'll take that away. Plus, if you get them stopped, it's very hard for them to drive away, even if the engine does stay running.
Well, it looks like at least on the driver's side, he's down to the rims.
Yeah, I bet you on the right side it's the same. Just he doesn't have any drive left to where probably just spinning the tires, spinning the rims on the asphalt. And so you'll start seeing chunks of rubber coming off and laying behind it. But,
Chad, they're not pitting because armed and dangerous, and with the crime that he's suspected of doing, turning the car around is no good. With an armed suspect that is
go till he runs out of gas.
Erratic and unpredictable.
No.
You don't want to spin the car around and have a guy with a gun turn it towards the cops. It's just it's needlessly dangerous.
It'll eventually grind it down to where the frame sets down on the ground, and you're not going to be able to push it anymore. It's just gonna become a brick. It's not gonna, unless he has a lot of power in.
Yeah, maybe a China tour, okay.
Rim, you're just going to run out of drive, run out of contact with the asphalt, and you're not going to have any way of getting motion. So he can spin those rims all he wants.
Maybe I'm going to go see the boys at Marble Rebels.
Delaying the inevitable, and that's what we're going to have here. But hopefully this doesn't turn into a standoff.
And then go
something worse.
Go full gamma mode at.
It's a good sign that you assume that there are secondary weapons in that car, because if you're involved in a shooting to where you're getting rid of the
at Macau, yeah, all in with the 1 mil big ass plaque, the fucking massive fucking emerald plaque, bang, put that shit on red, boom, that's fucking hard. Then
thoughts that I can't get away, I can't give up, I'm going to go out in a blaze, but you don't want that to happen. And
86 years xQc.
Suspect just stop the car, follow the commands.
I think it would actually be cinema.
And go to jail and let the judicial.
These are premium Chinese cigs. I think these are kind of rough though, a little bit rough on the throat.
You're looking live at the last chapter of this particular pursuit.
Some of the Chinese cigs, I mean, they go fucking way too hard. I can't handle all that.
Armed and dangerous. When we picked it up, he was on the, of all places, the 5 freeway.
Instead of cigs, you only do a little barely.
Maybe guessing he crossed the Antelope Valley once. Tried to do it here twice. We're now on West Avenue K and 22nd Street and Westfield Drive, and a spike strip was laid down and was successfully deployed. And
this big ass chase, big crime for some guy to go up in the hills and fucking
parts of a weapon out a window. So we don't know if he's still armed and dangerous.
Done an empty road. I mean,
dog in the car with him, from reports that we've heard. But he's been driving pretty much on the rims here for the last 10 minutes or so.
What?
And,
no.
It's just a matter of time before the vehicle is going to come to a stop, and hopefully he will give up peacefully instead of a long standoff. But this is where we're at right now. Again, this. Yeah, Tim, why not do a pit now?
Well, I mean,
I was just thinking, I was looking at it, and the speeds are very slow. Now, they may have additional information about multiple weapons in the car.
It says it right
at this
here.
Speed, when you spin somebody around, they're going to be right next to you when it comes to a stop before you can drive out of it. And so they may have that information, and they don't want an officer to get up there, but it looked like they're coming up on the left-hand side here.
Yeah.
Working its way up. All he has to do is go up and make. He's going to make the turn, but all he has to do is come up on the fender, either left or right, depending on which way he wants to send him.
I mean,
and just
they're going for 100%.
Turn on the gas, on the brake, and on the gas. And they go.
There we go.
Push it around, drive through.
That's like worst case scenario though, a little bit on the angle there.
Right next to him. So the first officer should have driven through and gotten down the road a little bit. But it worked out perfectly for him. Now they're stopped, they're facing the suspect. And that normally disables the vehicle as far as turns off the engine, because
no hands out.
The computer systems in these cars will sense the car going in reverse while it's in drive, and that they figure that you're out of control, and they'll shut the engine down so you don't lose more control. So at this point, he has to go through different procedures to get that thing started again. But with no tires on your front end there, with the drive tires, it's hard for you to get any motion going on now. Commands are being given for the suspect to get out of the car with his hands up to where they can see him. And unfortunately, they're straight on with him, so they kind of really, there's no where they look away type thing to where the person is behind you to where they can't really see what you're doing. But plenty of officers there, plenty of
doors open,
weapons drawn, doors open. Like I see a hand sticking out, and hopefully, just hands are up, stepping out. And all he has to do is follow the commands.
Have you ever thought about doing an IRL stream?
Oh, don't do that. He has to lift up his shirt.
Turn around, maybe raise up his shirt.
Classic.
Raise up his shirt so you can see the waistband. Turn around so you make sure.
Wait, there's a whole cock out.
Now turn around, walk backwards towards the officers, get him away from the car.
Yo,
it's normally what
you can see his thighs, man. This dropped way too low.
Well, you see there's a dog.
It's dropped way too low, man. You can't sight like that. It's way too much.
Backed up, and they more than likely gave him commands to shut the door on the car to keep that dog contained. They'll bring him back. One officer is giving commands at this point. They've already assigned what they have an arrest team.
Dude, I'm actually.
At this point, they'll get him should get him just a little bit further, so they have a little more concealment.
I'm just wondering why you would do all that.
And then turn him around to where he's facing away, and then take.
Jack, we don't really know all the specifics though. They could have been on the phone with him. They could have been negotiating with. Maybe they de-escalated on the phone. Like maybe he was talking to his folks on the phone.
First thing
like,
to do is handcuff him, and then.
Well, people are fidgeting in the car and be on the phone. You never know what's actually going on.
At this point, the officer's asking about the car, about the dog.
Whatever.
Anything in the car that might hurt me, then usually a team of 4